Thanks.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Hammerdown TV and Ultimate Dirt TV. Tonight, the Pro Latemodels in action here live from Lakeland, Florida, the longest dirt track we got on the mile, the USA International Speedway, 0.75, 3/4 of a mile long in distance as we get set for heat race number 1, qualifying just done and dusted, and we had Brandon Crichton in the number 10 car, who set quick time here this evening. The only driver inside of the 21-second bracket with a 21.845. Richard Sparr went second quick with a 22.061. Shane Kelly third quick with a 22.069. Thomas Collins and Keith Hackney rounded out the top 5, but we get set for heat race competition here this evening. It'll be 3 heat races, 8 laps of distance. The top 4 will go on to the main event. In fact, all drivers will go on to the main event. There will be an inversion here later this evening for the main event, so plenty of racing to come up here live from the USA International Speedway, and we'll have our heat race cars rolling on the racetrack right now. We'll go through our starting grid. In the 420 of Eric Elmore will start on pole. To his outside, it's the 11 of Dustin Sizemore. Inside, row number 2, it's the 88 of Thomas Coggins. On his outside, the 10 of Brandon Crichton. Michael Henry in the 115 will start out of position number 5. And in the 018, it's going to be Jeremy Freeman starting out of position at number 6. 6 cars in heat race number 1. As I said, all drivers will make the show. There will be an inversion later on. The inversion for the heat races this evening are 4. So keep an eye on the outside of the second row. Brandon Crichton, I believe it looked like he was in a Black Diamonds Motorsports car. This guy's known for running predominantly sprint cars. Name off about 3 or 4 drivers that run these sprint cars. Obviously John Batista, Nathan Davis, Brenton Roxbury. Those guys all run sprint cars with Black Diamonds Motorsports. We get set for heat race number 1 on the program here this evening. Green flag is out, and we're underway. The 420 of Eric Elmore leads us down the front straight away. Coggins on the inside, running the low side of the racetrack, looking for second. Meanwhile, Crichton in the 10, looking to make it 3 wide right now. But Thomas Coggins in the 88 on the bottom side of the racetrack picks up the race lead off of corner number 4, Eric Elmore. Back to position number 2. Now he's got the 11 of Sizemore. They're almost through riding turns 1 and 2. Here comes the 10 of Brandon Crichton, now picking up position number 3. He gets past the 11 of Sizemore. So top and the bottom groove working here at the moment here at USA International Speedway. The Pro Latemodels in action, and Thomas Coggins still your race leader. Eric Elmore falling back to position at number 3 there as Brandon Crichton going on the inside. Coming off corner number 4, and now we're down the back straight away. Elmore going to continue to work that top side of the racetrack here at USA. Dustin Sizemore. Sizemore back to position 4. You go back to Michael Henry and Jeremy Freeman. With your race leader, Coggins in the 88, down the back straight away. As Crichton in the 10, your fastest qualifier this evening, is now caught up to your race leader, Thomas Coggins. We've got a great battle going on behind him here. As Jeremy Freeman now picking up position number 4. Freeman getting past Dustin Sizemore. Going to go back to the front 2 cars. Brandon Crichton. As we've now got 5 down, 3 to run here in heat race number 1. Coggins, he's had the lead since the opening lap, and now he's got a pressure challenge here from the center. Brendan Crichton, who tries to force issue on the inside. They make contact going into turn 3. It's a drag race off the line, coming to the stripe. We're going to give it to Coggins by 0.066 of a second. And Coggins in the 88 continuing to lead all laps so far here in heat race number 1. But Brandon Crichton going to try and change that right now. Into 3 and 4. Crichton's got the run on the bottom side of the racetrack, and that's where he likes it at the moment. He will take the lead on lap, and he will lead lap number 7. The white flag is out. So for the final time in heat race number 1, the 10 of Brandon Crichton leads into 3 and off the turn number 4. He will get the job done. The 10 of Brandon Crichton comes home in first. The 88 Thomas Coggin in second. The third is going to be the 8 or the 018 of Jeremy Freeman. Eric Elmore comes home in fourth. Fifth went the way of Dustin Sizemore and Michael Henry in 6. So heat 1 done. Heat number 2 on the racetrack right now, and we'll have your lineup here in just a second. So it's going to be the 661 Terry Landis, who will start on pole. Here are the inversion after qualifying. On the outside of the front row at position number 2 is car number 2. That's going to be Jason Shank. At position number 3, it's the 55 of Keith Hackney. Keith Hackney in the 55 out of position number 3. To his outside, tonight's second fastest qualifier in car number 71, Richard Sparr. Richard Sparr in car number 71 out of position number 4. And your third row for tonight's heat race on the inside in the black and green car number 52, it's going to be Kyle Falk. Kyle Falk in car 52. And starting out of position number 6 in the 015. Now I apologise if I get this name wrong. Thaddeus Huskisson. Thaddeus Huskisson in the 015. So green flag next time by off corner number 4. So we are in Lakeland, Florida for the USA International Speedway. From what I've been told, it's a parking lot now, so thankfully we're able to have it on the virtual side. It is the longest dirt track we have on the sim. Just quickly, make sure you're watching on Hammerdown TV and also Ultimate Dirt TV on Facebook. Make sure you like both pages. If you haven't already done so, make sure you head over to both YouTube channels as well, Hammerdown TV and Ultimate Dirt TV on YouTube, and make sure you hit the subscribe button. Heat number 2 is Terry Landis. Got a good start, but I'll tell you who got an even better start was the 55. That's Keith Hackney now on the inside, started position number 3. And he will take the race lead down the back straight away. Terry Landis going to try and reel him in on the top side of the racetrack. And as we've seen in heat number 1, the bottom side was the place to be. Battle for third, Falk and Sparr. The 52 of Falk. Was that Falk? We got the 52 Kyle Falk. Sparr on the inside in the 71. Landis a little bit higher than what he would have liked to be on the bottom of the racetrack, but he ran literally right through the slick and now slides up to the top of the racetrack. He's going to lose one spot to Richard Sparr in the 71. Side by side down the back straight away. Sparr looking to pick up position number 2. Landis not looking to give it up just yet. But on the top side of the racetrack, he's finding a longer way around to go around this already long racetrack. Landis continues to ride the top side through turns 1 and 2. We have 3 down with 5 laps to go here in heat race number 2. 3 heat races on the program this evening, 8 laps in distance. And then we'll have our main event after the heat racing action here to come. So Keith Hackney trying something different as well. He's got on the top of the racetrack. Last lap was a 22.41. 22.411. Richard Spa, his last lap was a 22.239. We'll see what it is when they come across the line. A 22.200 for Keith Hackney. So still a fairly fast time on the top of the racetrack. Richard Spa, however, he was 2/10 quicker with a 22.015, and that's almost the times that they were turning in the qualifying session. So the 71, well, he's on a rail right now, but the 55, I just get the feeling, might just be starting to pull away just a little bit more. As I say that, he goes to the top, so he's more than likely going to lose a bit of time right now because Richard Spa, once again on the previous lap, he was over a 10th quicker than Hackney. Hackney to the bottom side in 3 and 4, runs the top in 1 and 2, the bottom in 3 and 4. White flag this time by for your race leader. That was 3/10 quicker for Richard Spa than Keith Hackney. So Spa has got one last chance to do something. 3 car lengths separating the pair right now as we go down the back straightaway for the final time in heat race number 2, the 55. Looks the goods through turns 3 and 4. He will get the job done. The checkered flag is out. Heat race number 2 belongs to Keith Hackney, Richard Spa, Terry Landis, Kyle Falk, Jason Shank, and Thaddeus Huskerson rounds out the 6-car field here in heat race number 2. The third and final heat race coming up here in just a moment. We'll have our lineup for you. A couple more things to go over as well. If you want to be a part of the action here at Hammer Down and Ultimate Dirt TV, it's you want to run the cameras, if you want to commentate, if you want to admin races, hit up Hammer Down on Facebook, fill out the application, and maybe you can be a part of this awesome team. And this is always a job to do. We're always looking for more members. So make sure you check us out on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you share the page out. We want to get as many people as we can watching these broadcasts, showcasing what we are putting on here this evening. And it's heat number 3. Starting on the pole of heat race number 3 in car number 28, it's Charles Silvers. Charles Silvers in car number 28. To the outside in car 25, out of position 2, it's Carl Young. Carl Young in 25, out of position number 2. In the car 8, out of position 3, Taylor Brizigella. Shane Kelly in the 19 will start out of position number 4, and out of position 5 in the 05, it's Taylor Wood. Taylor Wood in the 05 out of position number 5, our final heat race of the night. We do have the inversion as well, I believe, after the heat races have been completed. Here we go, heat number 3, 8 laps on the board. '28 old Charles Silvers will lead down the front straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. Taylor B in the 8 car moves up to position number 2. Now chasing down your race leader Charles Silvers in the 28 machine. Carl Young in the 25. A little bit too high coming off the corner exit, but well, he's somehow got a good run on Taylor B in the 8 machine as they go into 1 and 2. Taylor B falling back to position at number 3 right now. You got Taylor Wood and Shane Kelly battling back there for positions 4 and 5. Taylor Brizig-Heller back up to position at number 2. Carl Young, Taylor Wood and Shane Kelly, but your race leader is Charles Silvers in the 28 machine. Out in front by 1.3 seconds. We'll see if that gap will extend right now. Battle is on for 3rd and 4th. Carl Young and Taylor Wood, they were side by side coming off corner number 4 that time by. We're almost halfway home. This time it'll be 4 down and 4 to run here in the heat race number 3. Almost said main event. Main event up next on the program. Carl Young continuing to work the top side of the racetrack off corner number 4. In fact, goes to the top in 1 and 2. Taylor Wood trying to make something work on the bottom side of the racetrack. So looking at times from this heat race compared to what the drivers were turning in heat number 2, we're about 3 to 4 tenths slower at the moment right now. So the track's starting to slicken off just a little bit more. As 5 laps have been completed, we've got 3 laps left to run here at USA. So 2.25 miles to run. In fact, make that 1.5 miles to run off corner number 4 for your race leader in the 28. It's Charles Silvers. Shane Kelly and Taylor Wood side by side here for 4th and 5th at the moment. Kelly on the inside. Little bit of a slide job going into turns 1 and 2. Taylor Wood trying to cross back underneath him, but just got into the rear bumper of that 19, and oh, no harm, no harm, no foul. White flag is out in the final heat race of the night. Charles Silvers, your race leader, down the back straight away. The 3rd spot, Carl Young, went a little bit high in turns 1 and 2, but into 3 and 4 for the final time in heat racing competition here this evening from USA, the Hammer Down Pro Late Models. Charles Silvers gets the win. Taylor Brizig-Heller in the 2nd, Carl Young in 3rd, Shane Kelly 4th, and Taylor Wood rounds out the top 5, and that will conclude heat racing competition. We'll take a quick break while the drivers have a bit of a warm-up session here before the main event. Make sure you check out Hammer Down TV on Facebook. Make sure you check out Ultimate Dirt TV on Facebook, along with our YouTube channels. YouTube.com. You can search up Hammer Down TV and also Ultimate Dirt TV. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel as well if you haven't already. So we'll take a quick break and come back with our main event here in just a few moments' time. And we are back live right here on Hammerdown TV as we're getting set for the feature race for this evening. 30 laps on the board. We'll go through your starting lineup. Starting on the pole in car number 10, it's going to be Brandon Crichton. To the outside of the 55, Keith Hackney starts at a position number 2. At a position 3, it's the 28 of Charles Silvers. To the outside in car number 88, at a position 4, it's Thomas Coggins. At a position number 5, it's the 71 of Richard Sparr. At a position 68 of Taylor Brizigheller. At a position 7, it's 018 of Jeremy Freeman. He lines up alongside the 661 Terry Landis. Inside row number 5 in car number 25, it's Carl Young. To his outside, the 420 of Eric Elmore starts at a position number 10. Position 11 will now belong to the 11 of Dustin Sizemore. He lines up alongside the 19 of Shane Kelly. Taylor Wood starts at a position 13. At a position 14 is going to be the 2 of Jason Shank. Thaddeus Huskerson will start at a position number 15, and at a position 16, it's the 115 of Michael Henry. And that is our 16 cars for tonight's main event. As it is now time to get after it here in the Hammerdown Pro Late Models at the USA. Pace truck will pull to the infield. And it is time to get after it. Let's get dirty for 30. A great launch from the front row. Crichton and Hackney side by side into turns number 1 and 2 we go. 2 by 2 by 2 until we get until about our 7th or 8th spot. They were 3 wide. And caution flag will fly early on. Let's have a look and see what happened. It's the 018 of Jeremy Freeman. So 3 wide they were into turns 1 and 2. And off corner number 2, it looked like the 25 of Carl Young. Just got a little tight, came up into the left-hand side of Jeremy Freeman. And a bit of a chain reaction there. Freeman got pushed up into the 420 of Eric Elmore. And that brought out our first caution of the night here. So, unfortunate incident. Now, every time there's a caution, it takes away 3 green flag racing laps. So it's just 3 laps that these drivers don't have to do under the green flag. So this... They obviously won't be too happy about that, but at the moment, with the way that Iracing has got their things set up, caution laps count. Hopefully one day they'll have it all sorted and fixed. So unfortunately these are going to be quite long pace laps. Being the longest dirt track on the sim. Hopefully the lights are out on the pace truck this time by. We'll see if they flicker off. They do, so we are on 1 to green at the moment. So essentially we'll have 4 down with 26 laps to go. Single file restarts as well. And hopefully we can get some laps in here at USA. It's kind of like the Martinsville on the asphalt stuff. So the long straightaways are tight corners. Keith Hackney, your race leader. Brandon Crichton in the 10. As Hackney got a good jump on the field. And we'll see how they go in turns 1 and 2. drivers literally spreading out all over the racetrack right now. The 015 is around. As we are still green, so thankfully we're still green at the moment. Carl Young involved with that one as well. So Richard Spa in the 71, battling alongside Taylor Brizigella in that number 8 machine. That's for 4th and 5th at the moment. Your top 3 nose to tail into turns 3 and 4 right now. Here comes the 88 of Coggins, putting the pressure on the 10 of Brandon Crichton. Battle for 4th right now, Charles Silvers in the 28, trying to hold off a charge from the 71 of Richard Spa. I think I'm going to keep my eyes firmly peeled on this top 3. Meanwhile, Thomas Coggins, in the 88, has gotten past Brandon Crichton in that number 10 machine. Keith Hackney continuing to lead this one. Battle for 2nd and 3rd again. Crichton to the inside of Coggins into turns 1 and 2. He picks up position number 2 again, and that shuffles Coggins back to position at number 3. 4th was Richard Spa. 5th is going to be the 28 of Silvers, and then you've got cars behind them literally side by side. Rows of 2 for a couple of rows. We're going to car into all Taylor B in that number 8 machine. A little bit of a don't argue there from the 19 of Shane Kelly as he makes his way through the field on this one. So Coggins again now on the inside of Brandon Crichton in turns 1 and 2, but Crichton was able to shut the door coming off corner number 2 and hold on to that 2nd spot on the racetrack. We've got Huskinson into the wall on the front straight away. Hackney continues to lead. We are 1/3 of the race distance complete here. As Coggins, well, he's trying to drive over the grass, trying to make this a shorter way around the racetrack. Hackney on the bottom side. Crichton also on the bottom side as well. In fact, our top 3 all rails the bottom. Top 6, top 7 rail the bottom. And the first car on the top side is Dustin Sizewell, who's just got shuffled back to position number 9. So our top 8 legitimately ran the bottom through turns 3 and 4. Most of them do the same in 1 and 2. Well, they say lap traffic plays a factor. We've got 1 lap car in front of your race leader right now, and that 55, your race leader of Keith Hackney, 015, Thaddeus Huskinson, looking to not go a lap down, but you just get the feeling that these lead cars are going to go on by fairly quickly. They move to the inside, Hackney, and the lap car make a little bit of contact, and that allows Crichton in the 10 to sneak up the inside, but Hackney with the run coming off corner number 4, he was able to power back to your race lead. Interesting to see how these other cars handle this lap car in the 015. We'll try and keep an eye on that, as well as try and keep an eye on the front of the field as well, as we're now almost at the halfway stage of this race here in the main event to come. So the 015 Thaddeus Huskinson, I believe he's back on pit road. In fact, he's already put the car in the hall, and now we are halfway home. 15 down, 15 to go in the main event. Hackney still being pressured here by the 10 of Brandon Crichton and the 88 of Thomas Coggins right in behind them as well. So a 3-car battle for the race lead. So they're starting to pull away even further from the rest of the field. There's about a 2.5 second gap back to the 71 of Richard Spa. And looking at lap times, well, our top 2, Hackney and Crichton, are in the 22.0 some in this track, has not gotten all that slower. Now, side by side for the race lead, Hackney and Crichton. Crichton on the inside. Hackney has to go through the middle of turns 1 and 2. He will get the run and the momentum off of corner number 2, but no, Crichton, he's found something on the bottom off of corner number 2. And now he will take over the race lead as he will lead the 18th lap in the main event. And now Hackney's going to have to do what he hasn't done all night. He's going to have to find a way around your new race leader. Crichton, who set quick time here this evening, won the heat race, looking for the perfect night in that number 10 machine. Hackney now once again going to have pressure from the 88 of Thomas Coggins for positions number 2 and 3. Richard Sparr falling back just even further right now to your top 3. Now side-by-side battle for second and third right now. 2/3 of the race distance complete. We've got 10 laps to go. Hackney trying to make something work on the top side of the racetrack as he gets a good drive off corner number 2, but it's all about getting the momentum off the bottom side of the racetrack. This looks to be a little bit of moisture down there still, but it's very, very slick. Across the line they go. It's still Brendan Crichton, your race leader, from Keith Hackney, and Thomas Coggins in third. But now Coggins looking for second. So a great side-by-side battle here. The second and third to round out the minor placings. Hackney made a mistake. And now that's going to allow the 71 of Richard Sparr to close the gap on your top 3. He hasn't been there all race up until now. He's still got about a second to catch up to your third place runner of Keith Hackney as Coggins. In the 88 rides in position number 2, 23 down, 7 to go, so less than 8 race distance. Here in the main event, who will pick up the Pro Late Model win at USA? It's looking more and more likely to be the number 10 of Brandon Crichton. He shouldn't have to deal with any more lap traffic. Off turn 4, they all ride the bottom side. It's trying to keep an eye on the distance between Richard Sparr and Keith Hackney. It's just been brought down by 2/10, so just under 8/10 of a second remain for Richard Sparr in the 71 to try and sneak into what could be a podium finish here if he is able to run him down in the final 5 laps. There's 5 laps to go right now, 25 down. It's 7:83, so similar sort of lap times on that previous lap. So the top 4, they all turned the fastest lap of their race in a 22.0. So Crichton with a 22.021, Coggins with a 22.035, Sparr with a 22.055, and Keith Hackney with a 22.089. So Crichton got by Terry Landis, the lap car. I didn't think he would catch him, but turns out he didn't. Landis on the top of the racetrack, just letting the leader on by. And Hackney, well, he's just put another 10th back on Richard Sparr in the 71 for third, so it's back out to about a second right now. 2 sticks in the air as they come past the flag stand. 2 laps to go. 1.5 miles to run if we do see the caution. It will end the race. And I must say, this has been quite an enjoyable race because we've only seen the one caution that happened on that opening lap off corner number 2. And we've ran the rest of the laps under green flag. So looking for 26 green flag laps here at USA. The white flag is out. The final time. Here are the Pro Late Models at USA. The 10 of Brandon Crichton looking for victory here. Picked up the win in heat race number 1. He also set quick time, so the perfect night is complete. The 10 of Brandon Crichton comes home with the win. Second will go to the 88 of Thomas Coggins. Third is going to be Keith Hackney in the 55. Richard Sparr comes home in 4th. Charles Silvers in 5th. 6th is going to be Shane Kelly. Taylor Brizicella in 7th. 8th will be Dustin Sizemore. 9th is going to be Michael Henry from 16th. So nice job there from Michael Henry. 10th will be Taylor Wood. Eric Elmore in 11th. Jeremy Freeman in 12th. Jason Shank in 13th, 14th, Carl Young, Terry Landis, and Thaddeus Huskerson as well. So that will conclude the race from the Pro Late Models. From the USA International Speedway, we'll have our top 3 interviews here in just a moment's time. We'll get all the drivers ready to go. And we'll waste no time. We'll bring in our third place finisher in the 55. He led a bunch of laps, but he managed to hang on to third place here. Keith, congratulations on the third. Talk about your race. I mean, third place, you got to be overall happy with that.
Yeah, and no. I mean, I didn't have no set when we started this server, and I was off a little bit in qualifying and heat race. And during the warm-up time, I made a set, and it was good for the first half of the race, but it started going away. I seen it, so congrats to the winner and TJ, and it was a good race, and I was surprised with the long green flag run.
Talk about the track. In your heat race, you tried the top in 1 and 2 and in 3 and 4. I mean, towards the end of that race, or pretty much the whole night. I mean, it looked like the fastest way around this racetrack was the bottom side.
Yeah, I was in the heat race. I was seeing what was up there. That way, whenever we got to the race, I could try to figure it out. And I even tried it in the race, and I tried to move up, and it just wasn't there.
All right. Well done on third. And you got any sponsors, shout-outs you want to give before we let you get out of here?
I just like to thank Robert, once again for putting this on, and I like to thank Colby's Eye Paints for this beautiful scheme that he made me today, and Cymatics and IDA.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right, Keith Hackney in third. We'll bring up our second place finish in the 88. Thomas Coggins. Thomas, congratulations on second. Yet kind of just ran out of steam towards the end of the race, but still, in second place. I mean, you've got to be happy with how your night has gone so far.
Yeah, Brett, everything was pretty good. I was a little tight toward the beginning of the race. As track slipped off a little bit better, I could get into the corner some. I didn't have anything for Brandon. Me and Keith were kind of going at it for a little bit there. Pretty much, I'm pretty happy with this racetrack. I normally don't do too well here, so I was happy with it.
The first half of the race, you were behind Brandon and Keith, battling, out first and second. I mean, what was the plan going into the feature tonight? Starting on the outside of the second row. I mean, was it just to try and be there for the first sort of 10 to 15 or 20 laps, and then maybe make a charge in the last 10?
That's exactly right. I figured as long as I could stay up front in the first half of the race, I should be there in the last half of the race. And I was kind of hoping that Keith and Brandon would probably fight a little bit more up there for that lead. Maybe I could sneak by, but Brandon was quick, and I didn't have anything for him.
Oh, any sponsors? Who makes it all happen for you?
Just want to thank Cymatics, Robert with Hammer Down, also IDA, specifically Blake Mosley too. He kind of gives me some good paints. I'm pretty fond of those Tiger Paws, and he's a big Alabama fan, so I appreciate him making me a Tiger Paw car.
User was moved out.
There we go. Thomas Coggins in the 88 coming home in second. We'll head down to Victory Lane right now, and the perfect night is complete. The 10 of Brandon Grattan. Brandon, congratulations on the perfect night here. Went quick time, won your heat, and also picked up the main event. You got to be stoked with how things went tonight.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was my favorite track, and I don't get to race it too much anymore. And it was just cool to have the opportunity to race in the league tonight. And nice to win.
And for probably, I think, the first sort of 15 or 16 laps, you were behind Keith. Were you getting worried at any part of that race, or were you just waiting for him to make that mistake to where you can get on by and capitalise on the pounce for the race lead?
I was concerned when we started the race when we got the caution. I was out geared, so on every restart that we were gonna have, I was gonna get beat. But I knew if we went green, that I had a pretty good shot at winning if I didn't wreck anyone.
Once you got to the race lead, you pretty much set sail, and you kept a pretty good distance between yourself and Thomas. Were you Worried at any point of that last sort of 5 or 10 laps that, if you make one mistake, that Thomas was going to be there to maybe capitalise, or were you just trying to focus on hitting your marks in each corner?
I was just focused on hitting my marks. I was more concerned of a caution coming out, but everyone seemed to have pretty good control of their cars, so it was just out there running laps and having fun.
All right, well done on the win and well done on the perfect night. Who do you want to thank that makes it all happen for the wheels on that 10 machine to go round?
Just all the admins at Hammerdown. I don't get to race the leagues that often because of my work schedule, and we had rainouts up here, so I'd like to thank Bellinger and everyone that runs a league. They'll just let a random person come race with them, and Carter Speed. Me and Chad Carter got pretty good stuff going on, and it was pretty good tonight, tell you that.
All right, there we have it. Brandon Crichton for the win and for the perfect evening here this evening at the USA for the Pro Late Models. Well, that'll conclude everything here this evening. We want to thank everyone that has tuned in. We want to thank the drivers that put on a great show. 26 green flag laps in the end after the caution came out on lap number 1. On behalf of everyone here at Hammerdown TV and Ultimate Dirt TV, it's Brett Wheeler signing off, saying we'll see you back tomorrow night for the Dirt Street Stocks. I believe we are at Knoxville or Volusia, I think one of the two, so make sure you come back and tune into that one. If you're not racing, if you want to race, hit us up on Facebook, Hammerdown as well, and that'll do it. Good night.